Chapter 35. What is a flyer? Huh? The three of them stared at Kaizhao in shock. Although the plan wasn't complicated, it sounded incredibly dangerous. You're planning to keep gambling with your life? Lin Huan asked, clearly uneasy. That sounds. This is the only way to break through for now, Tizhou replied. If you agree, we can start immediately. Yao Jin thought for a moment and asked, Liar, aren't you afraid of death? Yes, Tizhou said, but I have to get out of here. Tian sighed, then suddenly spoke seriously. Kaizhou, you know, I didn't join this group because I trust you or want to rely on you. Because there was no place for me there. I know, Tizhou nodded. So it's hard for me to believe that you'd actually split the paths with me. I also don't think I could defeat you in the end and be the last one standing. So, Tizhou asked, so my cooperation with you is temporary. If I ever feel the situation isn't in my favor, I'll betray you without hesitation. Tian said with a bitter smile. Although, to me, living or dying here doesn't make much of a difference. But if there's hope, I want to fight for it. I'm only staying with you three to get my share. Tizhou didn't react with any particular expression. Instead, he nodded with some relief. That's good. Good. Tian blinked. Didn't I make myself clear? I'm only in this for the past, so you shouldn't trust me too much. The strongest relationship in this world is an employment relationship. Tizhou said. I have no objections. At this point, Yuan Yi and exchanged glances. Tian had just laid it all out. Can she really be trusted? Well, since we've all made our positions clear, let's move out. Tizhou said. Tian hadn't expected Tizhou to agree so easily, which made her feel a bit unsettled. But then again, what more could she lose at this point? With different thoughts in mind, the four of them ventured deeper into the city once again. The city, with its eerie silence, was constantly emanating a sense of danger. Tizhou noticed they were gradually moving toward more populated areas. They could vaguely see some natives now, wandering aimlessly through the desolate streets like zombies. There seemed to be more people. Kaizhou murmured. Not only were there various natives, but they could also occasionally spot figures wearing animal masks standing in front of buildings. It seemed that the further they ventured into the city, the more people they encountered. As Tizhou was speaking, a native carrying a stack of papers approached the group directly. The figure was as gaunt as the female shop assistant they had met earlier, like a walking skeleton. Jin frowned and took a step forward, ready for danger. But instead of attacking, the native handed a piece of paper to Jin and said, How about swimming unfitness? Take a look. Before Jin could reach for it, the native let go, and the flyer fell to the ground. The native, showing no reaction, shuffled away like a zombie. What the... Jin blinked, confused. What's this weird thing? He picked up the paper, only to find that most of the text had faded, and the flyer looked very old. They're even handing out flyers here, Tian remarked, surprised that there are shop assistants in convenience stores. I guess it's not too surprising there are people handing out flyers, Tizhou said. What is a flyer? Lin Huan asked. That simple question left the three others momentarily stunned. What did you say? Tizhou thought he must have misheard. What is a flyer? Lin Huan repeated clearly. What is a flyer? The three of them looked at Lin Huan in disbelief. Is this a question a normal person would ask? You don't know what a flyer is? Tizhou asked. No, I don't. Lin Huan shook her head naturally. Do you all know what it is? None of them answered immediately, but the doubt remained. From the start, Lin Huan had behaved strangely. She constantly covered her mouth and nose, insisted on following Tizhou, and now she didn't even know something as basic as what a flyer was. Could she not be human? Or worse, could she be part of the organizers? A chilling thought started to whirl in Xia's mind. If she really wasn't human, what was her purpose? Hey, thank you, Anne. Tisha finally spoke. He couldn't rest easy without figuring out her identity. Flyers are common knowledge. How could you not know? Common knowledge. Lin Qiuan looked genuinely confused. Just because you three know what it is, does that make it common? Yao Jin interjected. This isn't just about us three. Flyers aren't rare at all. Everyone should know what they are. Why don't you? Yeah. T and nodded. Have you really never seen a flyer before? You're the weird ones, Lin Huan said, annoyed by their questions. So, what if I don't know what a flyer is? Are you suspicious of me now? Tijia studied the girl in front of him. Her behavior was hard to understand. If she were a part of the organizers, wouldn't she have at least lied to cover up such an obvious slip? But her frustration seemed genuine, as if she didn't think there was anything wrong with not knowing what a flyer was. Was it normal for her not to know? How likely was it for a normal person to have never seen a flyer? Tijia thought about it. Sure, it was possible, though rare. Maybe she grew up sheltered, in a wealthy family, or perhaps she had lived abroad for a long time and only recently returned to the country. But still, she was supposed to be a psychologist. Flyers are just advertisements printed on paper. Tiao Jin explained to Lin Yuan. You've really never seen one? No, Ling Yuan said, shaking her head sincerely. Kaizhou was at a loss for how to proceed, his brows furrowed in deep thought. Hey, over here, buddy. Suddenly, a voice from across the street startled them all. A scruffy-looking man with glasses was waving at them. Yeah, you? Over here. Man, it was the first time they had seen another seemingly normal person in this place. They couldn't help but feel uneasy. Is he friend or foe? Are you talking to me? Tijia called back, trying to engage. Yeah, you guys are normal people, right? The man with glasses smiled. Normal people, yeah. You know, not crazy, the man said. Don't you call yourselves that? Kaizhou hesitated for a moment before replying. We don't look like lunatics, do we? I knew it. The man laughed. We found a good game. Interested in joining us to earn something? He kept a cautious distance, clearly wary of them. Tijia and Kyle Jin exchanged glances, unsure whether to trust him. But then Tijia remembered. The rules here didn't allow for stealing paths. If the man had any ill intention, his only option would be to deceive. And if it came down to deception, Tijia wasn't afraid of anyone.